Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day today. Let's get right back into Pathfinder, do another party member build. This time, I want to focus on another one of my favorite characters in the game. Don't knock me. I know I said that about Woljif and Sela, but what can I say? Owlcat has done a fantastic job. This time, we're going to talk about Ember, who I absolutely love. I think her personality is fantastic. You get quite a few great moments with her, and she's fantastic in combat as well, as you're going to see very soon. She's a stigmatized witch and she's an elf, so we're going to go ahead and choose this photo and head on down to stigmatized witch. Some witches think of their magic not as a gift, but as a curse. Her body is tarnished with a mark of her ill fate. Maybe the patron of such a witch was cruel and decided that power mustn't come cheap, or maybe they mercifully helped the witch to turn the adversities that befell her into a source of new strength. A stigmatized witch relies on intuition. Her magic is based not on the sharpness of her wit, but on the strength of her character. Instead of the regular powers granted by a patron, such a witch gets a curse, like an oracle, and she casts her spells spontaneously, like a sorcerer, rather than a wizard. Fits her personality perfectly. All right, elf. And yet again, we have an example of a character who we cannot completely copy, but we're going to get it as close as we possibly can. 9 on strength. And we'll go down here first. 17 on charisma, 16 on dexterity. It's supposed to be 12 on constitution, 12 on intelligence, and then 13 in wisdom. As you can see, that's not possible for us to recreate. Going next. I don't remember what spell she starts with, but you know the drill by now. Whatever skills they have, depending upon the makeup of your team, she's got 3 slots. You can choose which of these 5 skills will fit into what you actually need. And now we go into feats. So her first feat is precise, or she can go point blank shot. There we go. Background selection. She is a Medivian orphan. Medivian orphan adds lore religion to the list of her class skills. She also gains a +1 bonus on saving throws against demons. She gets a Raven familiar. A familiar is a magical pet that enhances the character's skills and senses. A Raven's master gains a +3 bonus on persuasion checks and a +2 bonus on perception checks. Okay, and you can look at your first hex. Vulnerability curse. The witch can make her enemies vulnerable to energy. This hex lasts a number of rounds equal to the witch's level, during which any energy resistance or energy immunities on the target are suppressed. A successful will save reduces this to just 1 round. Okay, and now you have the Oracle Curse. Hers is blackened. Your hands and forearms are shriveled and blackened, as if you had plunged your arms into a blazing fire, and your thin, papery skin is sensitive to the touch. You take a -4 penalty on weapon attack rolls, but you add Burning Hands to your list of spells known. At 5th level, add Scorching Ray and Burning Arc to your list of spells known. At 10th level, add Fire Snake to your spells known, and your penalty on weapon attacks rolls is reduced to -2. At 15th level, add Hellfire Ray to your list of spells known. So, on the one hand, this is awesome, but on the other hand, keep in mind, if I remember correctly, as you go through the level ups, you are basically getting these spells 1 level late. So, like, I think Burning Arc is a level 4 magic power. When you get your level 4 list, Burning Arc won't be on it, and you won't automatically get it until the following level. So in that way, it's kind of not all that great, but it is what it is. This is the way Ember is set up. Okay, and her original, so she already has Burning Hands, and then she also starts with Cure Wounds and Scream. I think she's either neutral good or chaotic good. We'll go with chaotic good. Leave this alone. And we'll say that she's pragmatic. Ember. Okay, anything here I need to explain? Nope, we've already went through all this. We're good. All right. So that's our first level, and then next level, pick whatever skills you want. And then you get another hex. Hers is slumber, a witch can cause a creature within 30 feet to fall into a deep magical sleep, as per the spell sleep. The creatures receive a will save to negate the effect. If the save fails, the creature falls asleep for a number of rounds equal to the witch's level. This hex can affect a creature of any HD. This hex ends immediately if the creature takes damage. Whether or not the save is successful, a creature cannot be the target of this hex again for 1 day. Slumber is awesome. Basically, you can use slumber and say, okay, this person who I'm not going to get to for a while, go to sleep. We'll wipe out everybody else first, and then we'll make our way back over to you. Definitely, especially because you have this early in the game when you don't have all your abilities, you're not able to wipe out groups as easily. Slumber's great. Okay, and then finally, she takes. There we go. Now we have precise shot. You can shoot or throw ranged weapons at an opponent engaged in melee without taking the standard -4 penalty on your attack roll. And then for this, she gets mage armor. There we go. Okay. Now we get into you being able to level up Ember yourself and make your own decisions about what you want to do. Obviously, you want to focus on charisma. Whatever skills you want. Okay, now we get into hacks. So let's review them. Ameliorating. The witch can touch a creature to suppress and protect it from negative conditions. The witch chooses one of the following conditions each time she uses this hex: dazzled, fatigued, shaken, or sickened. If the target is afflicted with the chosen condition, that condition is suppressed for a number of minutes equal to the witch's level. You should have a cleric, so I don't see the reason to put this on Ember. Aura of purity. Diseases, inhaled poisons, and noxious gaseous effects, such as stinking cloud, are negated in a 10-foot aura around the witch for a number of minutes equal to her level. Again, you should have a cleric, and that cleric should have the communal version of suppressing poison and should be hitting that if you're in this type of situation. No reason to put this on Ember. Cackle. A witch can cackle madly as a move action. Any creature that is within 30 feet that is under the effects of an evil eye hex, fortune hex, protective luck, or misfortune hex caused by the witch has the duration of that hex extended by 1 round. I personally don't use this because I feel like Ember is so great at blowing people up and casting damage spells that you don't need to make her hexes more effective. If she casts a hex and it works, you don't need another round to destroy that enemy. Like, you just focus your people on them, and that 1 round that evil eye is on should be more than enough to just wipe that person out. So I don't see the point of this. Evil eye. The target takes a -2 penalty on one of the following, witch's choice: AC, ability checks, attack rolls, saving throws, or skill checks. This hex lasts for a number of rounds equal to 3 plus the witch's intelligence modifier. A will save reduces this to just 1 round. I think Evil Eye is absolutely fantastic. You throw it on, everybody focuses down. If it's saving throws, then you can hit them up with spells. If you choose AC, your pets and your tanks or whoever else is in melee range can whittle that person down. So either way, makes it much easier to take down tough targets. The witch can grant a creature within 30 feet a bit of good luck for 1 round. The target can call upon this good luck, allowing him to reroll any ability check, attack roll, saving throw, or skill check, taking the better result. This is all right, but you should be casting buffs on yourself that help to put this up anyway. I focus more so on disabling the enemies when I'm using hexes, as opposed to trying to buff up my party. That's what your clerics are for. Healing. This acts as a cure light wound spell. She shouldn't be the one curing. Uh, Ice Plant grants her a +2 natural armor bonus. She should definitely be in the back and not getting hit. I don't see the point. Misfortune. The witch can cause a creature within 30 feet to suffer grave misfortune for 1 round. Anytime the creature makes an ability check, attack roll, saving throw, or skill check, it must roll twice and take the worst result. Depending upon the type of enemy that you're facing, this can be really, really cool. Nails. The witch's nails are long and sharp and count as natural weapons. Don't put this on Ember. Protective luck. The witch can cause fate to twist so that it benefits a creature within 30 feet for 1 round. Whenever that creature is targeted by an effect that requires an attack roll, including weapon attacks, the attacker must roll twice and take the worst result. Could be useful on your tank. I personally don't use it. I prefer to just build up my tank so that they can take any attacks that are coming their way. But if you feel like Seela or whoever your tank is getting killed a lot, this might be useful. And then finally, Ward. The warded creature receives a +2 deflection bonus to AC and a +2 resistance bonus on saving throws. This ward lasts until the warded creature is hit or fails a saving throw. This is good technically, but I hate the fact that it ends once that person has been hit. In my experience, Ward really doesn't last for very long. Okay, so since that's the list of what you have available right now, me personally with Ember, she's all about damaging people and blowing them up. So the only time she's using Hex is if she's facing someone whose defenses are so powerful that she's not biting through them, and I need to find a way to whittle her down. So me personally, I take Evil Eye first. So I can either take down the AC or the saving throws and help me be able to deal with this particular enemy. All right, and now we're in level 2. So you can take whatever you want here. Blindness is fine. Or since it's early, this is level 4, you might go ahead and take a healing spell so that you can help give the cleric a breather with how much healing the group needs. And you select your skills. Okay, and now we get to select our own feat. So I prefer to, you can start with spell focus evocation. Now you see, Burning Arc is a level 2 power. We opened up our level 2 slots last level, but we're only just now getting Burning Arc. So you're going to see that's kind of consistent. That's the only kind of bad thing about Blackened. But again, there's nothing else at level 2 that I feel like she really, really needs. Scare is nice. And it's early enough where it doesn't matter that she doesn't really specialize in necromancy. It's great crowd control. So you can put that on if you want to have a little bit of a change up. And then you can pick whatever here at level 1. Okay, and now you get another hex. And you could choose from whatever you want from this particular list. I don't feel like any of them are, except Misfortune. I do actually really like Misfortune. So yeah, definitely take that one. But all the rest of them, I'm okay on. Okay, and now you've opened up level 3. You can choose Lightning Bolt, but again, I don't particularly care for powers that affect your party. So I actually like taking Heroism at this level. Ember is going to get a lot of spell slots, so she actually will have enough where she can cast Heroism on your entire party and a couple of pets if you have them as well. So I think it's worth taking. And now we can go ahead and go into Greater Spell Focus. And just make sure, yeah. You can go ahead and take, I like taking the spell magic here as well. By level 7, you're definitely entering that point where sometimes enemies are going to have buffs on themselves that you want to just go ahead and strip away if you can. Select whatever you want from that. Select whatever you want from that. Charisma. Okay, select whatever hex you like. I don't think it really matters. Okay, so now you've opened up your level 4 powers. And again, nothing for you to really select here. You can get False Life Greater if you feel like she's getting hit up a lot and you want to give her some additional hit points. Dimension Door can be nice if you're stuck at a choke point and want to kind of move your party to a better location. But Ember's kind of going to be more so on the back, so you would have to manually make this work. It's not going to be something you could just set for her and it'll work on its own. Up to you. And then I like going ahead and get elemental focus and then fire. Since you know you're going to be using a lot of fire, adds +1 to the difficulty class for all saving throws against spells that deal fire damage. Very useful for you. These don't matter. Or at least I don't have a preference. Again, you could choose whatever you like. Okay, now we've opened up a new world of hexes at level 10. So let's go through them. Agony. With a quick incantation, a witch can place this hex on one creature within 60 feet, causing them to suffer intense pain. The target is nauseated for a number of rounds equal to the witch's level. That's good stuff. Animal skin. The witch can become an animal. This ability is similar to Beast Shape 2. Don't do this. Beast Gift. The witch can use her magic to grant her allies ferocious animal abilities. The witch can partially transform a willing ally, granting him natural attacks for a number of minutes equal to the witch's level. Choose one. The creatures gain 1 bite attack or 2 claw attacks. Again, no. Delicious Fright. The target of this hex becomes shaken for a number of rounds equal to 3 plus the witch's intelligence modifier. As long as the witch remains within 30 feet of her target, she gains a +1 morale bonus on attack rolls and a +1 morale bonus on saving throws as long as this effect persists. Pretty good stuff. Hoarfrost. The target is rimmed with a shell of frost needles that slowly work their way into its flesh. Fortitude negates. The target turns pale and blue and takes 1 point of constitution damage per minute until it dies. Saves once per minute or is cured. Break enchantment, dispel magic, blah, 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 in the effect. Most of your battles against one person are not going to take more than a minute. So that part, unless you're playing on the hardest level. So that part is kind of negated. 1 point of constitution damage. I don't think it's really all that much. Major ameliorating. The witch can touch a creature to suppress and protect it from negative conditions. The witch chooses one of the following conditions each time she uses this hex: blinded, cursed, diseased, or poisoned. If the target is afflicted with the chosen condition, that condition is suppressed for a number of minutes equal to the witch's level. This sounds like the role of a cleric. Use Ember to blow people up. Major healing. The hex acts as cure serious wounds. Don't use Ember as your healer. Why? Regenerative Sinew. The witch can cause the debilitating wounds of a creature she touches to quickly close, helping it heal rapidly. Again, do you really want her to be your healer? And then finally, Restless Slumber. The witch causes a creature within 30 feet to fall into a sleep riddled with nightmares. This functions as the slumber hex. Additionally, the restless nature of the sleep causes the creature to violently toss and turn, dealing 1d10 points of damage to itself each turn. This damage does not wake the creature. When it wakes, the creature's adult state causes it to be confused for a number of rounds equal to half the witch's level. The witch must have the slumber hex to select this hex. To me, this is clearly a no-brainer. You could choose one person that you're like, hey, guy is going to be annoying if I don't shut him down. Make him sleep, make him lose health while he sleeps, and even if he wakes up, he's going to be confused for a certain amount of time. Come on now. All right, and now you also get access to spell level 5. This is when I think Fire Snake is here, but of course you're going to have to wait one more level before you actually get it. Out of number 5, I don't see anything that really fits into her mold. Cloud Kill is, of course, always awesome as long as you put protection for poison onto your party. And Hold Monster and Dominate Person are nice ways in order to try to whittle through the group. But again, Ember's not an enchanter. So, you know, your mileage may vary about whether or not you want to use those spells. I prefer to just have her focus strictly on damage. All right, and we get greater elemental focus. Fire. And now we have Fire Snake. Again, the rest of this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter to me. This doesn't matter to me. This doesn't matter to me. And we continue on. 20 in charisma, very nice. Select your skills. Same list now of hexes. And I like, is it Agony? Yeah, I like Agony. Agony's okay. All right, and now you have access to level 6 spells. Mind you, Hellfire Ray is listed here. I think that's a bug. Um, in fact, yeah, when you can select it here, but and it'll allow you to use it. But once you open up level 7 spells, you'll find that when you select Hellfire Ray, it's actually taking slots from level 7, even though it's listed in level 6, and it's actually also listed in level 7. But I think they mean it to be a level 7 power, especially since I believe when you select Blackened, it says in the description that you're going to get Ray at level 15. So I think it's a bug that it's here. But you can select it for now. It's awesome, so I would venture to say you should just go ahead and get it. A blast of hellfire blazes from your hands. You can fire one ray plus one additional ray for every 4 caster levels beyond 11th. Each ray requires a ranged touch attack to hit and deals 1d6 points of damage per caster level, maximum 15d6. Half the damage is fire damage, but the other half results directly from unholy power and is therefore not subject to being reduced by fire resistance. Great stuff. All right. And then we can also get. You can get. Now, at this level, you can get spell penetration or spell specialization. For me, since you have Hellfire Ray, I would go ahead and specialize in it. But again, if that's a bug and it should come later and you don't have access to it, I would venture to say you should just go ahead and get spell penetration. You might also notice that the other spells you automatically get from Blacken are not listed here. My assumption is that that is a bug and that you should be able to select what is it, Scorching Ray and Burning Arc within spell specialization as well. But for now, they're not available when they're just automatically pulled in. So go with Hellfire Ray, but later on, and when the full game releases and maybe this bug is clear, you might want to choose Spell Penetration instead. Okay, and for buffs, Heroism Greater is fantastic. A +4 morale bonus on attack rolls, saves, and skill checks. Immunity to fear effects and temporary hit points equal to your caster level. 1 minute per level. This is fantastic. Pick whatever you want here. Pick whatever you want here. And we keep going. All right. And I feel like that pretty much ends the hexes that I pay attention to. So you can select whatever you want here. Spell specialization, still going with Hellfire Ray. All right, so now we have level 7 available, and you'll see that there's Chain Lightning here. Again, my assumption is in the final game, Hellfire Ray is going to be in this list, so I would choose that over Chain Lightning. Other than that, True Seeing Communal, if you don't have somebody else in your party like a cleric who can cast that, I definitely feel like that's something you want to have around. There are a lot of enemies in this game that use blur, displacement, invisibility to basically try to get the jump on your party. So being able to see them early, huge advantage. And spell penetration. Hellfire Rain. You can get Chain Lightning, why not? Banshee Blast, Cave Fangs. Next. Charisma again. Hex again. Spell specialization. All right, so now you're at level 8. If I remember correctly, level 8 doesn't really get a good fire spell for you to be able to use. So if you're sticking with evocation, your best bet is Storm Bolts. Keep in mind, though, that Storm Bolts isn't a set and forget it power like all the other ones you've selected. You know, you can right click on a power on the character's bar, and then that character will just automatically keep using that power during a battle. It works for everything else, but in this particular case, it's a 30-foot burst centered on the caster. Currently, the AI is not smart enough to ensure that there's an enemy within 30 feet who will actually be affected by this before they activate storm bolts. So you'll have people all the way in the back, not an enemy in sight, and they're just casting storm bolts on themselves over and over again, not doing anything to anybody. So if you're going to use this, there is either you're going to have to use some measure of micromanagement, or you're going to have to make sure Ember is closer up so that she's kind of in the thick of things and more people are affected by this, which is not really what you want. So you can decide the best way to go ahead and make use of this power, but as far as evocation goes, it's the best one you have available in this list. Okay, last go round. We're going to spell penetration. We're still specializing in Hellfire Ray. And out of this list, there's no real buff in this list that I would say that you especially need. So you can go Cure Serious Wounds if you like. Cure Serious Wounds. All right, so now that we finished leveling the character up, let's look at the Mythic path. So, come on now. Y'all know how it is, but at this point, when you have Spellcasters, first Mythic path ability, Abundant Casting. You have learned a way to increase the number of spells you can cast per day. You can cast 4 more spells per day of first, second, and third levels each. Now, for your next Mythic feat, I would actually say you should dip back into Mythic abilities and go Ascendant Element. You mastered a certain element to a spectacular level. Choose one energy type. The damage of that energy type you deal can no longer be prevented or reduced by resistances or immunities. You're dealing a lot of fire damage, might as well get fire. All right, and for your third one, improved abundant casting. You have studied a way to increase the number of spells you can cast per day. You can cast 4 more spells per day of 4th, 5th, and 6th levels each. Now, at this level, you can go ahead and get, is it spell penetration? Yeah, spell penetration. Your mythic magical power breaches your enemy's defenses. Add half your mythic rank to caster level checks to overcome spell resistance. If you have greater spell penetration, which she will, add your full mythic rank instead. I don't think she has greater spell penetration at the specific time when you select this feat, but she will shortly, and it'll take full advantage of this at this time. So I see no reason not to just go ahead and take it. And then finally, you have greater abundant casting. Again, as usual, when you select this, you probably won't have access to 7th level spells yet, but you will have access to them before the next time you get the option to select a mythic ability. So I would say you should go ahead and get it here. You have mastered a way to increase the number of spells you can cast per day. You can cast 4 more spells per day of 7th, 8th, and 9th levels each. And then you get 1 more of these. So I would say you can go with School Mastery. Select one school of magic. All spells you cast that belong to this school have their caster level increased by 1. And there you have it. She's all done. So if we go into Spellbook now, 8th level. So for 8 times, you can choose Storm Bolts over and over again, which, as long as you position it properly, is a very powerful spell, 20d8 damage, and stun per 1 round. Remember, enemies that are stunned are also susceptible to sneak attacks. Combine this with your Woljif build, just saying. Level 7, she can use Hellfire Ray 10 times, which is his ability that hits only one people, but she can use Fire Snake 11 times, and that hits multiple people along the lines. And she also can hit Burning Arc on people 11 times. And remember, even when you're looking at these lower level spells, you know, you skip a couple of spell levels before you get another fire ability. These spells increase in efficacy over time. So, yes, you get them at level 2, but because you get more rays or they do more damage, they're still useful 2, 3 spell levels later. I use Burning Arc all the way in Act 4 in the section that I can't even show you, and she's blowing people up. It is absolutely fantastic. So, Ember, great companion. She's someone who is great at damage dealing, great at disabling enemies and making it easier to take them down. Personality is awesome. She just is a fantastic fit as long as you're a good aligned team. You know, I don't know. I'm not sure yet how she reacts if you're going running around and doing a bunch of evil things. But anyway, that's the build. So let me know down in the comments. What do you think? Is Ember a character you feel like you would like to play around with? Do you like what Owlcat has done with the witch level up system? If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like, and I'll see you in the next video later on this week. Take care.